Dear student, due to coronavirus, school started online classes for your study. So you can subscribe Golden Flower Palia YouTube channel, like and press the bell icon.
So, hello students, how are you? So today once again I am here with the lecture 2 of the class 10th biology. That chapter we have started in the last video, that is the life processes. And in the last video we have discussed about the life processes, what are the life processes and how the life processes are performed, what are the types of the life processes we are conducting, we are performing, our organisms are performing in their daily life. So today the next topic of the same chapter, that is the life processes. In the last video I told you about the different kind of the life processes, that all organisms perform the different life processes to sustain their life on earth. Now once again I am written here the first line of the board. You can see here that energy is needed to perform all kind of the life processes. Means in the last video I told you that the different life processes which are performed by the living organism, they require energy, and energy is needed to perform the different life processes. Organism obtain energy from food. Obviously from the very junior classes you are studying that we are eating, we are taking, not we. Each and every living organism obtaining its food to performing activities to get energy. So how we are getting the energy? We are getting the energy from food. So same like that, food work as a fuel for the cells. Fuel means because it is providing the energy, so we consider that the food work as a fuel for the cells that provide the energy. Now in the last video I told you 4 types of the life processes: nutrition, excretion, transport of substances and respiration. Because these 4 processes you have to study in detailed form, which is included in your class 10th syllabus. Obviously I told you that the life processes may be many more. The examples of life processes may be many more, like coordination with the surrounding, growth, but out of that you have to study only for nutrition, respiration, excretion and transport of the substances in the living organism. So out of that we are going to start the first one, that is the nutrition. So what is mean by the nutrition? Nutrition, the process of getting food and utilizing its energy. Means how the organism are obtaining, what are the methods of obtaining their food. That is a different thing, we will discuss in the next topic. But the simple process is I am writing here, it is following by all kind of the living organism. So the process of getting food and utilizing its energy is called nutrition. Next one topic is the nutrients. What is mean by the nutrients? The different chemical components present in the food. The different chemical components present in the food are called nutrients. Because these nutrients forms our food complex. You can see here different chemical components of food. You can see kaun sa food, which one food? This is called the complex food. Complex food means which contains the different nutrients. That food is considered as the complex food. So the different chemical components present in the food, the examples I have written here: carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals and water. Out of them, these two, carbohydrate and food, fats, they provide energy. So they are called energy giving food. Carbohydrates and fats are called the energy giving foods, because these are the nutrients. Second one is the proteins. What is this? This is called body building food. Means these proteins help in forming the new cells in the body, or if the cells are old and if the cells in the body are injured, so for repairing that, proteins are useful. So that proteins, for that the process, proteins are useful. So proteins are called the bodybuilding or repairing of the cells. Bodybuilding or repairing of cells. Now the next one is the vitamins and minerals. These two are called protective food. These two are called protective food because they help in the providing protection to the body against the different deficiency diseases. They maintain our immune system strong. Just for example, vitamins, as you heard many times that vitamins are very, very useful. We should take a proper amount of vitamins in our diet, because due to the deficiency of the vitamins, different vitamins cause the different deficiency diseases in our body, like due to the deficiency of vitamin B, beriberi is caused in the human beings, or due to the deficiencies of the vitamin A, it causes the night blindness or rickets in the body. So because these vitamins and minerals are having the protection capability of the body, so they are called the protective food. Now the next one is vitamins and minerals are required in very, very small amount, but in a balanced diet, for the proper growth of the organism, these all 5 components should be present in proper amount. There is a balanced diet chart in which the quantity of the each and every nutrient is showing that we have to need a proper amount of these nutrients which should be present in our diet. Now, whatever the food we are taking, like chapatis, like bread, like rice, like potato, like vegetables, like fruits, out of all foods, these 5 components are present: carbohydrate, fats, protein, vitamins and minerals. But that is a different thing. In some fruits, the carbohydrate amounts will be greater. The carbohydrates amount will be greater. Like carbohydrate is present in much quantity in the potato, wheat, rice. Proteins are much present in the egg and different kinds of the leguminous plants like dal. Protein is present in much quantity in the soya bean. So vitamins are present in the vitamin sources. The good sources of the vitamins are fruits. So doesn't matter that these are present in the different amount in the different kinds of the food, but they are present all fruits quantity. Is it clear? I hope these points are clear. It's a very easy point because we are starting. As we will go through the next topic, you will get the more complex topic. Now the next topic is the modes of nutrition. You can take the screenshot so that you can make the proper notes. So the students, next topic, as I told you, I am taking the next topic of the same chapter, that is the modes of nutrition. Modes means methods, how the organism are obtaining their food and how the organism utilizing the energy of the food. So that methods are called the modes of nutrition. As I told you in the previous videos, that few life processes you have to study in the detailed form. We have started the first one, that is the nutrition. Nutrition topic we have started, and we are studying about the nutrition topic in detail. But whenever the nutrition topic, whatever the life process we will study in detailed form, you have to study in the both plants and animals. Plants and animals. First of all, if we will study the nutrition, process, then we have to study the in both processes, both organisms, in nutrition in plants, nutrition in animals. We will study in the next lecture, next video. But these are the modes of nutrition, is a common mode which is followed by the all living organisms, that may be plant or that may be animal. So out of that I am starting the modes of nutrition. Mainly the modes of nutrition are divided into the two parts. The first one is autotrophic, second one is heterotrophic. So from the very 6 classes onwards you are studying that what is mean by the autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self, and trophic means nutrition. So those organisms which can synthesize their own food from simple inorganic substances are called autotrophic nutrition, and such organisms are called autotrophs. So for example, you can see here that autotrophic nutrition is that nutrition in which the organism obtain their food, synthesize their food by utilizing CO2 and water. As you have studied in the previous classes, that photosynthesis is that process by which organism obtain their food, by which organism can synthesize their food, that is called the autotrophic nutrition. But autotrophic nutrition may be divided into two parts. The first one is the chemoautotrophic and second one is the photoautotrophic. Chemoautotrophic word is originate from the chemicals. Few organisms like methogens are the types of the bacteria you have studied in the class 9th. These bacteria obtain their food from simple chemicals. They obtain energy from chemicals like methane gas directly. So that is why they are called chemoautotrophic, means they can obtain their energy from chemicals. Photoautotrophic. Photo means light. The few plants, not few, all green plants have this capability that they can synthesize their own food by utilizing CO2, water, chlorophyll and sunlight. By the process of photosynthesis, they are called photoautotrophic. That is called, the examples are the green plants. Now, the next topic of the modes of nutrition. The next part of the modes of nutrition is the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. As I have written here, organism cannot synthesize their own food from simple substances like CO2, water, means they obtain their food from other sources. Means all animals, those who cannot synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis, they are following heterotrophic nutrition. And such organism, if anyone will ask to you that what are heterotrophs, then don't confuse. The same definition you can give, but the slightly change you can modify the definition. Those organisms who cannot synthesize their own food, the organism which cannot synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So all those animals are called the heterotrophs, and the examples are all animals and non-green plants. All animals are considered as heterotrophs because they are following the heterotrophic nutrition except Euglena. Euglena is an animal which have both capability. The Euglena can obtain their food from other sources, other animals, other materials, and in some condition Euglena have the photosynthetic pigment, that is the chlorophyll. So Euglena can synthesize their own food also by the process of photosynthesis. So that is the exception of the heterotrophic nutrition. Means Euglena may be here in autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. This is the exception. Of the heterotrophic nutrition. Now, as you can see here that the heterotrophic nutrition is divided into the again 3 parts. First one is the saprotrophic or saprophytic. Saprotrophic means nutrition. Sapro means dead and decaying matter. Trophic means nutrition. Saprophytic means it is word which is used for the plants. Phytic means plants. Phytes means plants. So organisms obtain their food from dead and decaying matter like dead plants and animal parts, rotten food. Such organisms are called the saprotroph, and such nutrition are called the saprotrophic nutrition. Means in this mode of nutrition, organisms obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. Means जो चीजें खराब हो रही हैं उन चीजों से ये अपना फूड ऑब्टेन करते हैं. एज यू हैव सीन मैनी टाइम्स द फंगस विच इज डेवलप्ड ऑन द ब्रेड, अ फंगस विच इज डेवलप्ड ऑन द पिकल्स, a fungus which is developed on the leather shoes. So these all are the examples of the saprotrophic nutrition. Means those organisms which obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. That type of the nutrition is called saprophytic, saprotrophic nutrition. The examples are the fungus and bacteria. The examples are the fungus and bacteria. Always they will take their food from dead and decaying matter. Obtain from dead and decaying matter. Now next one is the parasitic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition is that nutrition in which one organism obtain their food from other living organism. Means both should be living. The first one who is taking the food and second one from whose body the food is obtaining, or the second organism who is providing the food. Both should be living. Means those organisms who lives inside the body or outside the body of other living organism and obtain their food. So they are called the parasites, and that type of the nutrition is called the parasitic nutrition. And that type of the nutrition is called the parasitic nutrition. But on the basis of that, parasites may be of two types. Parasites may be of two types. The first one is ecto, second one is endo. Ectoparasites are those parasites which lives outside the body of other living organism and obtain their food, like head lice, जो जूं होती है सर में रहती है. That is the example, best example of the ectoparasite. Second one is the leech. In Hindi it is called the jonk, which suck the blood from the cattle like cow, buffalo. So they type of the parasites are called ectoparasites. But that type of the parasites which lives inside the body of other living organism, they are called endoparasites. Examples are, you can see here, roundworm, which lives in the body, inside the body of living organism. So those organisms which obtain their food from the body of other living organisms, they are called parasites, and that type of the nutrition is called parasitic nutrition. Examples: parasite may be plant, may be animal or animal. Parasitic plant example is kaskuta. In Hindi it is called amarbel. In Hindi it is called amarbel. So amarbel is the example of parasitic plant which lives on the body of other plant. Maybe parasitic plant may be of two types, totally parasite and partially parasite, where that we will discuss that later on. Parasitic animals, the examples are leech, roundworms, head lice, and the examples may be many more. Head lice, which lives in the body of, on the head of other living organism. Bed bug, it's a very important, another example of the parasitic plant. Now, the organism from whose body the food is obtained is called host. The organism from whose body the food is obtained is called host. जिसकी बॉडी से पैरासाइट फूड ऑब्टेन करते हैं, दे आर कंसीडर्ड एज होस्ट, एंड दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म व्हिच आर ऑब्टेनिंग द फूड, दैट इज कॉल्ड द पैरासाइट. That is called the parasite. So host and parasite both, but the condition that the parasite and host both should be living. One more thing is here, that parasites obtain their food from other living organism without killing. Without killing means there is no motto of these parasite to kill their host. ये अपने होस्ट को किल नहीं करना चाहते हैं, because they have to obtain their food from their host, so they don't want to kill the host. But they are, they should be living. Both the parasite and host both should be living. Now, what is the difference and similarity between the parasitic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition? Parasitic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition, one difference is here. Saprophytic nutrition obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. In parasitic nutrition, obtain their food from other living organisms. Both should be living. Similarity between the both type of nutrition, saprotrophic and parasitic, both are the examples of the heterotrophic nutrition. They cannot synthesize their own food. Now the third part of the holozoic nutrition, that is also the third part of the heterotrophic nutrition, holozoic. Holo means as a whole, means जब animals अपने food को ऐसे ही निगल लेता है, as a whole, they obtain their food as a whole or a parts of their food. That type of the nutrition is called the holozoic nutrition. For examples, amoeba, human, cat, etc. All major kind of the multicellular animals follow the holozoic type of nutrition. In this nutrition, first of all, organism ingest means will take the food to inside the body. First of all, they will take the food inside the body. Then the food will be digested or will be broken down into the small pieces. Then that digested food will be absorbed by the body and the energy will obtained by the cell. It means in this food, first of all, the organism will ingest the food. Then ingested food is digested and absorbed to get energy. So this is the type of nutrition, holozoic nutrition. Out of that, the modes of nutrition may be many more, like sanguivores, cannibals, etc. We will discuss in the next video, and keep working and make the proper notes. Best of luck. God bless you.
Do self-study at home and stay home, save lives. Thank you very much.